Alright, ladies and gents, we installed paddle shifters. The Mopar paddle shifters on the, it's a Jeep Eco Diesel. It's a Rubicon model. Put it in manual mode. 5, 6, 7, shift not allowed. So, long story short, put it in manual mode and then just use the paddle shifters. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, that's almost red line, 2, manual 3, 4, 5, 6, won't let me shift up anymore because we're too low. So I had to turn this on with the TAZER, so to reset, just go back into drive. Then it shows this again. All right, today we are installing the paddle shifters. This is a 2022 diesel Gladiator Rubicon model. First thing we're gonna do is take a little pocket screwdriver and pop loose the two covers on here. Right here, there's one on each side, and then there's a little 10mm bolt to take out on both sides. And then from here, this is going to come out, and we're going to undo the three connectors on here. 3 airbag connectors, 1, 2, 3, and then you have your horn right here, and that's just a pocket screwdriver. Pop that loose. And to get these off, you want to push down on this tab and just kind of roll it out. So you want to push down, and then this part right here will pop out. So this part comes out of here. This little tab right here is the only thing. So just kind of push that and pull it out. Now we're going to take off that 22mm nut. It's a 24mm socket. We're going to use a Ugga-Dugga. It's only about 30-something foot-pounds, so it's not on there tight. But at this point, what I would like to do is mark, so you can see where I marked it. Sorry. Kind of mark it so you know where it goes. We're going to unplug the 2 connectors and take off the steering dampener. So as you can see, we took off the steering weight, and we have this marked with the center. And now we're going to undo the 2 connectors. With the 2 connectors undone and the dampener out, we're just going to pull the steering wheel off the hub and feed through the SRS connectors. Tap, 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 tap. There you go. So I'm going to pull this through and just kind of feed these through. There is the final result. You want to make sure that that cable reel stays still. And here's what the back looks like. So let's bring this over to the workbench. These are the new parts you need. The upshift paddle shifter, the downshift paddle shifter, the new harness, and then there's 2 covers. One's on back order, so I have this one. And whenever the new one comes in, we'll just get it because these ones don't transfer over. You need the bigger ones for the bottom 2. And then, looks like a 15, yeah. T15 for the 4 on the top. So 2 T's and 4 T15s. Take them off. Alright, so we're going to pop these out, and then you got 2 more T15s. Alright, at this point, we're just going to lift up on here and take this out of the equation. And basically take the harness out, put the harness back in, put it all back together. So I'm going to take this off. With the front bezel off, you can see the switches on each side. And at this point, you just want to confirm that all your colors line up. So on these, you're lightly going to just push down right here to release the clip. All right, so you'll need a pick to, there's 3 of these connectors here. And to get these off, you want to push down on this tab and just kind of roll it out. So you want to push down, and then this part right here will pop out. So this part comes out of here. This little tab right here is the only thing. So just kind of push that and pull it out. So this is the final stage here. We got that bolt in, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I still got to do the two right here. But basically, just follow the pictures of how it came apart. And you have to kind of take it back apart a little bit and just route the wires the way that it came. So one of these caps were on backorder. So this is the right hand. So yeah, so this one goes right here. But the other one was on national backorder. So whenever that comes in, whenever this comes in, we're just gonna pop this in as it comes in. So see, that just pops in. So this side will just be open until we get the cap for that. All right, so to summarize, I know I had to get it back together because we were running out of time, but the 24 millimeter nut that holds the steering wheel on, you have to torque that down to 37 foot-pounds with a torque wrench. And then the yellow SRS harness, the 3 SRS connectors, and then the yellow harness, you kind of have to tuck it up when you put the airbag back in. So the harness has to be kind of tucked up in order for the airbag to fit in, and then you put your two 10 millimeter bolts in, and then the airbag is back in. I fought the airbag, getting that back in a little bit, but what I had to do was just the yellow harness, you kind of have to have it more on the top side of the airbag. So when you go to put the airbag back in, that yellow harness, make sure it sits up high, so when it goes on, it's not getting caught in the bottom. Oh, when putting on, so this is the old switches. When putting on the right side switch with the newer one, which is a little bit bigger than this factory one here, in between this and the base of the steering wheel, I had to put a small washer in order for it to tighten up properly, because I had to have a little spacer washer in there, because if I didn't have that in there and I tightened it up, the paddle shifter would lock. So you couldn't press the button. Basically, that button would lock like it's pressed. So putting a small washer on the bottom of this, between this and the steering wheel, made there to be enough gap where it still tightened up. And the gap was the same on both sides. Not that you'll see it because it's behind the steering wheel, but. So I put it all in. I used the TAZER, JT, JL, or whatever. I used the TAZER to turn on the paddle shifters, and then while driving I could push it into manual mode and the shifters will shift the car. So it works. I'm glad I was able to still use the Rubicon wheel. I didn't want to switch the color scheme to the 392 steering wheel, which I was told you had to use the 392 steering wheel, but I believe that is because you have to add the washer to space it out more. So this worked for me. You use it at your own discretion. Technically you're supposed to use a 392 wheel, but it worked for me on the Rubicon wheel. Just summarize really fast, you need a T10 and a T15 and a small washer like that for the right side paddle shifter bolt. All right, ladies and gents, we installed paddle shifters on the Jeep Gladiator Eco Diesel. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I also check out my other install videos I did on my Jeep Gladiator. I also have adventures that we have recorded of everything. If you have any questions, please ask them. I'll respond to the comments, and we'll see you on the next one.